Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a box plot with the information you've already calculated you should have already calculated your range, your interquartile range, your lower fence, your upper fence, identified any outliers. You should have also calculated your 5-number summary with your min Q1, your median Q3, and your max. So once we have these values, we need to do our Loxand Visca plot. Now, on your task sheet, if we go down, you'll see this link. This link is going to help us do our box and whisker plot. So I'm going to select all of that. I'm going to copy that text and I'm going to open up a web browser. And let's close some of these windows and put the web browser in. The address in the web browser, and we come to this page. So in this video, we're just going to do one box plot with one outlier. Now, for your assignment, you actually need to do 2 box plots on the one graph. So to do that, you would select 2 here, and then you would enter in 2 lots of information and plot it. For this video, we're just going to do the first one. And the first one, the title, we're going to put high school, because that's what we're doing. Now, this information, minimum, let's turn this on. Information minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and max. We're going to get that from our sheet. So let's see if I can do this, and then I can see. Oh, it's all turned very red. It's not happy about having to show so many things. All right, let's go down here. All right, let's see. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so minimum is, let's scroll this down, 89,000. So I'm going to type that in, 89,142. Q1 is 106,315. My median is 132,542.50. My Q3 is 156,633. And my max, now this is, keep in mind, this is without the outlier. Sorry, with the outlier not identified, was my max was 288,924. So our outlier is still in our data at this stage. My limits for my box plot, I am going to put for my minimum, I'm going to put 0. That's going to ensure that on my number line I start at 0. And my max, I've got 288,000 there. So let's say we want to go to a maximum that's slightly higher. Let's put in 300,000. That's a nice round number. And then the tick marks that are going to appear in between, let's do every 50,000. And on the axis title, I believe that will be the numbers. So that will be, let's just have a guess that that's going to be our income. And then let's click draw here and see what we get. Okay, so we have got income. Let's make this a bit bigger. We've got our income. We've got our numbers. Now we can see that our numbers have been displayed on the box and whisker plot. So we've got the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and the max. We can see that our numbers here are overlapping a little bit, and we may want to change that. So let's make the width. Actually, if we just turn the numbers off and then go draw, you'll see that we don't have any numbers, and that looks a bit cleaner. If you want to put the numbers on, we can check that, redraw. Now, the reason the numbers are overlapping is because we don't actually have enough pixels for our drawing. So let's make the width, let's make it 1,000, and then click draw here again. And we will now see that our numbers are no longer overlapping, and we can actually see the values. If we, so that's how we do one, and we can see we've got the word high school here. If we wanted to add in post-secondary, we would go 2, we would put in post-secondary. We might have some different numbers, so let's just have a guess at what some numbers might be. 10,342, 154,792, 195,265, and let's go for 1,215,342. And if we draw that, now you will see that we have got post-secondary and high school. What we haven't done yet is we haven't addressed the issue of the outlier. You can see here for high school, this is our data. We've got a really long tail here compared to our interquartile range, and we can see that that means that this is more than likely an outlier here. The way we're going to deal with that is we're going to go back to our data. So if I go back to my data, and we decided that we identified that 200, if I go back up here, we identified that 288,924 was indeed an outlier, and that would then mean that the maximum value that's not an outlier is 178,808. So I am going to come to my maximum here. I am going to, where is my screen gone? Why is it doing all that? Sorry. So I'm going to type in my maximum value, which is 178,808. And then I'm going to draw this again. Now I have got the correct box plot, but it's not showing my outlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this drawing, I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, I'm going to come back to my Word document, that's my task sheet. Actually, let's do a new Word document. So I'm going to open a new Word window. Computer is not happy. New blank document. And I'm going to put this picture. Oh, that's not the correct thing. We need this picture. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, go back to my Word document. Why is this not pasting? Let's go back here. Draw here, we've done that. Copy to the clipboard. You know what? Copy to clipboard's not working. Let's use our snipping. Let's try once more. Nope. Alright, so we get rid of all that. We are going to come back here to our picture. We are going to use the snipping tool. So let's just open that. New. I'm going to select my whole box plot. Copy that. I'm then going to put it into my new Word document. I'm going to give it a title, box plot. Actually, since there's on 2 on there, let's call it parallel box plot. Let's put that in. And now I need to mark in my outlier. So my outlier, if I go and have a look, was the value of 288,924. So let's come back to our drawing. And I'm going to insert just an X. So I'm going to go to shapes. I'm going to find a nice, let's use this one. And we're going to insert one of those there. Now I'm going to make it look more like an X. And I'm going to make sure it's nice and square. So let's make it 0.7 by 0.7. And then I just need to get it in the right place. So it was 288,924. So I need to find where 288,000 is, which is about there. So I'm going to drag this out to where 288,924 would be on my number line. Going to put it there, and maybe it's a little big, but that's okay. And I'm also going to just insert a little text box, and I'm going to say that that has a value of 288,924. Now it's obviously that font is too big, so let's make it smaller so it matches everything else. That's about there. And we don't want these borders on our textbooks, so we're going to go to our shape format and turn off the outline so we can't see that. And it's covering up my X, so I need to go back to my shape format. Go to my shape fill, say no fill, and then I have labeled my outlier, which should be in line with my box on whisker plot. And all we need to do is save it, and we are done. One other thing I forgot to do earlier, which I'll go back and fix up the other video, but is on my task sheet where I had the maximum was 288,924, and then I'd said that my outlier is 288,924. I should then come back and make a note that that is the outlier and that my new max is 178,808. Because 288,924 is an outlier. Done. Sorry, before I finish too, your teacher may ask you to actually print this. Make sure you save it or print it. So I'm going to save it in my folder where I'm saving everything. and I'm going to call it, I'm not going to call it just parallel box plot, I'm going to call it IA2 parallel box plot, and I'm going to put my name in it, Mr. Stats. So I'm going to save that. You will need it later on. So we should do a recap. We started with our data from our phone number summary for high school education. We went to the internet link. We opened this page. We typed in our information. Then we decided that we went back. We did the same thing for our secondary data. So then we had our minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and max for our post-secondary data. We filled that in. We've drawn our picture. We've then used the snipping tool to copy the picture, and we've put it in a new Word document. And there we have it. And then we saved it. And we are done.